after Jojo Rabbit, I went and saw Bad Boys for Life, the new Bad Boys movie. 16 years later. Like, seriously, before I can even start talking about this fucking series, like, why did this series, like, I thought about this for a second. First movie came out, I was 7. The second movie came out, I was 15. I am 31 years old now. Why is it taking, like, over... It's taken over 24 years for these movies, like, this trilogy to come out. Like, seriously? Like, why? Of all fucking things, why is Bad Boys, like, a trilogy that took 24 years of my life to come out? I don't know. Why is... you could also say, why is Bad Boys even a fucking trilogy? But I do that's hearsay. But anyways, Bad Boys for Life. The Bad Boys franchise. I've always enjoyed those films. I remember growing up liking those movies. I remember seeing the first one that came out when I was like 7, and I saw a lot of crazy. That's nothing compared to the shit I used to see when I was like 7 years old. I've seen worse than that. Trust me, I did. I saw like my favorite show growing up was Tales from the Crypt and Beavis and Butthead. So there you go. That's just my childhood in a nutshell. So yeah, like Bad Boys, I remember liking it a lot when it came out. And I remember liking Bad Boys 2 fine enough when it came out in 2003. They're both movies that I've seen, but it's been a long damn time since I've seen them. Really long time. I don't watch those movies religiously like probably some people do, but I notice people my generation that really fucking adore those movies. But I like them enough. I just don't. It's been a long time since I've seen them. I don't know how well they hold up. I mean, I'd have to go back and watch them. I didn't really go back and watch them before I watched like this new one. But like I said, I remember the best things about the original 2 films were Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, and I was like, as long as these 2 are involved in this movie, that's all fine by me. I mean, they were the best parts of the movie, so you can't replace them. I mean, it wouldn't be Bad Boys if you tried to replace them. So I was glad at least they didn't try to replace them. And like I was worried, like everybody, as soon as I saw this movie was coming out in January, I'm like, well, that's never a good sign. Like, it's never a good sign. Even though this movie was getting good reviews, I'm like, decent reviews, I'm like, still not a good sign. Like, it's January. But every so often in January, you get, like, one of those surprises, like, that come along and, like, surprise us all, like, how good it was. And, you know what? I didn't hate it. I enjoyed the hell out of Bad Boys for Life. I actually really did. How does it compare to the other 2? I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch the other 2, but fuck, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I had a lot of fun. It's a cliched, stereotypical buddy cop comedy if you've ever seen one. And from what I remember of the other ones, it's pretty, close to the other 2, but, it was fun. I had fun with it. It's a weird double feature of Jojo Rabbit. They're both completely good, fun movies in 2 different ways, but I enjoyed the hell out of this movie for what it was. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are fucking great together. They have great chemistry together. They haven't missed a beat. Like, I remember that's the thing I remember vividly from the other 2 was that they were so good together and had great chemistry and were believable as like brothers almost. They were the most enjoyable things of the first 2, and they are the most enjoyable thing about this one. If you had 2 other actors playing these roles, I don't know if it would have worked. It's just they have great chemistry. Will Smith is obviously one of the most charismatic actors alive today, and he can carry a movie on his own pretty much any time he wants. And Martin Lawrence, it's nice seeing him, like, goddamn, like, It is. I don't know why it took long for this movie to be made. I'm assuming probably has something to do with Will Smith because he is harder to get the work, harder to get to work on a sequel because he is a busy man. More than Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence obviously isn't as big of a comedian as he used to. I mean, he was big in the '90s, but definitely isn't nowadays. He's a but I really enjoyed the hell out of this the chemistry between the two of them. They're fucking great. The things I remember liking from the original are still in there too, like Joe Pantoliano as the police chief, who is like at this point it is kind of funny watching these movies because his character has been made fun of in like other action movies like to death, and even like movies like 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, as far as like the angry police chief who's always fucking up the main characters' asses. Like this character's been done to death and it's been made fun of to death, but he kind of tones it down a little bit, but he does pull it off. Like he does, channel his inner angry police chief that you see in every one of these movies. Like sometimes during this movie, it's kind of funny. Like that scene, he's going fuck. That's like only one scene in this movie, but it's like I remember like in the other two, he was like that the whole fucking movies. Like, and that was what was made fun of a lot in those, in like a lot of action movies, is that kind of character of a police chief. And I like Joe Pantoliano. He's an awesome actor. He always has been an awesome actor. This is a movie that, for a majority of it, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the other two. I remember vividly, good enough that I remember Martin Lawrence having a daughter. I forgot he had, she was in a relationship with somebody he thought was an idiot, played by, I was like, oh yeah, I remember the Reggie character briefly. I remember him being an idiot and them trying to fucking harass him. I was like, oh yeah, but by this point they're having a kid, and he's accepted this Reggie guy, so it's like 16 years of like growing to like this kid, which is kind of funny. And then there's like also characters in this movie that I was like, were they in the original too? I don't remember them. Like that character, that's the detective, the female detective that Mike Lowry or Will Smith's character has like a kind of like on and off relationship with. They just saying throughout the movie, like he fucked up things with her and everything else like that. And like, was she in the first two? And I'm like, I went the whole movie thinking she was in the first two, and I just didn't remember her character. I was like, but then like I looked it up and I said, no, she wasn't. I'm like, oh, okay. That's like, I was like, okay, she's awesome. She's pretty good in this movie. The only thing I've seen her in, I was like, I recognize that girl from somewhere. I'm like, oh yeah, she's on that show The Purge, like the TV show The Purge, season 2. I'm like, yeah, I watched that show, so fuck you. So don't judge me, all right? Yeah, she's on that show, and that's the only thing I've seen her in, and like really that's the only significant thing she's been in, other than this movie. Like I think she's a Mexican Spanish actress. Like I said, it was kind of funny. Like I spent the whole movie thinking that she was a character that she was in the other two, but nope, she wasn't. You also got this seems like a thing that happens a lot with a lot of action movies nowadays, where you got a brand new team of young kids that are being brought in. They're gonna change the way that we do copping or policing. I said copping, that's a word I just said. Policing and stuff like that. And they got a bunch of young kids play, or what the fuck wasn't their group's name? I don't know. One of them being Vanessa Hudgens, and I didn't recognize that it was Vanessa Hudgens in the trailer, and then I got the joke when he's like, oh, they're just a bunch of high school musical young kids. I'm like, because she was in High School Musical. That's funny. That's cute. I forgot how violent these movies got. Like, they actually, like, I give these movies credit. Like, they earned their R rating. I mean, they're not the most violent action movies I've ever seen, but hell, they do earn their R rating. Like, I forgot how kind of violent these guys. Like, I said, bravo. Like, you don't see many gritty, hard R action movies like these anymore. It was kind of cool to see. Like, all right, cool. And, like, it's kind of fun to see these movies, like these kinds of movies again. And I was like, it's, like I said, they're cliched and they've been done to death before, but yeah, there's still a lot. This movie is still a lot of fun. One thing I did forget. This is getting into kind of complaints a little bit. One thing I did forget about these movies, and it was kind of more obvious as I was watching these movies. These guys are kind of bad at their jobs, aren't they? I don't know how long they've stayed on the police force this long. They're kind of bad at their jobs. Like, they cause a lot of destruction, a lot of death, unnecessary death. There's a scene in this fucking movie where there's a former informant of theirs that's being like chased by like the bad guy in this movie. They're afraid for their lives. They call afraid for their lives, and they spend like a majority while this guy's like, you know, they're trying to find this guy. They're spend the majority of it on the road in a Nissan, going the speed limit, below the speed limit, arguing about not going below the speed limit, and then when they finally get there, it doesn't end well for that guy. I'm like, dude, you guys really are terrible at your jobs. Like, wow, like, you guys should have tried to maybe got there a little faster. I don't know. You know, this guy's life is on the line, and he's afraid for his life, and then you had one job and they fucking end up dead. I'm like, god damn, I just spoiled it. Fucking never mind. They do like pull off like a fake out death in this movie. Like, happens pretty early in the movie where Will Smith gets shot in this movie, and it's like supposed to be this big dramatic thing. Like, oh my god, is he gonna live? And like, first off, they're not going to kill off their biggest star, Will Smith, in the first 30 minutes. They're just no. You can't even make a fucking movie, a Bad Boys movie at this point. They're just Martin Lawrence, okay. And two, I've seen the trailers. He's like in majority. He's in a whole fucking. There's a lot of scenes from the trailer that haven't happened yet. So yeah, he's not. Oh yeah, guess what? He's not dead. All right. So I'm like, yeah, it's like supposed to be dramatic, but it was like while it was dramatic, while it was like you knew what was going to happen, did result in some pretty dramatic scenes. I thought that scene where Martin Lawrence is in the church was really good. I thought it was really decent acting by him. What the fuck I want to talk about before I forget? Oh, there's a twist in this movie. There's a twist in this movie about who the villain is, like how he knows Mike Lowry, because it's a whole thing about he's on the hunt for him and stuff like that, and like you don't really know why he is attacking him and trying to kill him, but there's a reveal at the end of the movie, like towards the end of the movie, that I went, what? Like, the fuck? That came out of nowhere. Like that literally, it's a reveal that literally comes out of nowhere. Like, I don't know where the fuck, that there was no indication that was going to be a fucking thing, but yeah, that is a thing. That was weird. Like, I don't know. They also hint that like there's going to be a sequel, fourth movie, which this is a complaint. There's going to be a fourth movie coming up, I guess, coming out next year. We'll see. It's taken like 24 years for these movies to come out. So I don't know. I probably won't get another one until another 16 years. I'll be fucking 47 by the time the next one comes out. God, I hope not. I'm not reviewing these fucking, like, I'm not reviewing movies anymore after 47. By the time I'm 47, I hope not. But what the hell? But yeah, there's like a thing where they hint at like a fourth movie, and there is a fourth movie in the works right now because this movie did very well. And I think they've been talking about doing a fourth movie way before this movie did well. But anyways, here's the thing that just I thought out at the top of my head is like, you had a missed opportunity, you dumbasses. You should have used the title Bad Boys for Life for the fourth movie because you could have Bad Boys for Life. Dumbasses, you missed the opportunity. I guess it's like, well, what can you call it? Bad Boys Forever. Bam! There's your title. I was like, that took me 2 seconds. I was like, that's your title, boy. Bad Boys Forever. I'm proud of that joke. It's like, Bad Boys for Life. Like I said, they missed the opportunity, dumbasses. I'd recommend Bad Boys for Life. I thought it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. If you liked the first two, you probably will like this one too. So, definitely recommend it. Trailers. I got Morbius, the vampire film that's coming out with Jared Leto, which, yay, Jared Leto in a comic book movie. We know how well that went the last time. Where he's like, I don't know much about the character of Morbius. I played the Spider-Man video games. I know he's been in them, but it's about a guy who has like this disease a weird spinal disease where he decides to inject himself with like bat venom and he turns into a vampire or something. I don't know. And he starts morphing more and more into a vampire. And it has Michael Keaton as the Vulture pop up at the end of the fucking trailer, which I was already spoiled that a while back. So, whatever. It's the first time I saw that trailer, and I'm like, it's all right. It looks all right. They're trying to do their own like universe of films, like Sony is, to go along with the Marvel Spider-Man movies too. So I don't like. So here's hoping it'll be good. Who knows? That's as far as trailers go. What's this week? The Turning, and The Gentleman. So one good, one bad. So like one looks good, one looks terrible. So yeah, guess which one's which. So until then, I will talk to you guys later.